Yo, what's going on guys? Jared here. Today I wanted to talk about the new Magnifistorm deck coming out in Doom of Dimensions in September. Obviously this deck has some Runick synergies, you've probably heard of it before, but I really wanted to go over all the cards and read them and kind of see what works, what doesn't work, and more why and why not. This is something that I've been wanting to do. Obviously I love the deck, so I wanted to give it a shot to see what other improvements Runick is going to be getting in the next upcoming months. So if you guys enjoy, please subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Check out the affiliate links down below, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so here are all the Magnifistorm cards. Ignore the deck list, this is just like something I threw together. But obviously this entire deck is based off the old card, Mystical Space Typhoon. Very, very old card. It's kind of cool that this simple card got a full archetype to itself, which is insane. But it's cool. I'm a fan of it. Please just give Red Eye support for the love of God. That deck needs so much help. But the actual Magnifistorm cards are pretty interesting. I'm just going to read through them as we go, just so that we have an idea of what they do. Okay, so the first card is Great Pyre Phoenix. If a quick play spell is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. If a quick play spell is activated, you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls, shuffle them into the deck. I really like that form of interruption. That's awesome. Shuffling into the deck has always been like the best form of interruption for anything, because it's just gone. Essentially, it's the only place in Yu-Gi-Oh, at least current Yu-Gi-Oh, that's like gone, which is awesome. If Mystical Space Typhoon is activated while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. That's also awesome. The fact that you can get this out of your hand and then be able to interrupt your opponent with it, and then be able to bring itself back throughout the game. I really like that. No restrictions too. That's like a big thing to look out for these new archetypes that can be mixed in with the Runick cards, is restrictions. That's the biggest thing. But I like this card a lot as a standalone. Next up, we have the Beauty Valrune. This is another big one. If a quick play spell is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, I guess they're probably all going to have this at least. When your opponent activates a monster effect and you have a Mystical Space Typhoon in your graveyard, you can negate that effect, and if you have 2 or more Mystical Space Typhoon in your graveyard, you can destroy that monster. Okay, that's cool. We actually have a negate. That's awesome. If Mystical Space Typhoon is activated while it's in your graveyard, special summon this card. Oh, okay, and this also has the same res effect. Wow, I really like that. When your opponent activates a monster effect, okay, that can even negate something like Nibiru too, which is really, really cool. But the only problem is you have to have specifically Mystical Space Typhoon in your graveyard. But yeah, overall, like, pretty strong card. Magnifistorm Crothra cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while you control no spell or traps. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If a quick play is activated, special summon this card from your hand. That's fine. Normal or special summon. You can add Magnifistorm card and or 1 Mystical Space Typhoon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Oh my god. Nice double search. Also, you can have special summon for the rest of your turn, except win monsters. That is the killer. It's so annoying. Yeah, I like this. Like, this card's insane. Like, any double searching card, if obviously things like, think of like Cupsy without like the discard though. Double searching is just wild. So being able to search 2 is ridiculous. Even if 1 is an MST. I like this card. It's so sad that restriction's on there though. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna be able to work. Then we have Aerodam. If you have Mystical Space Typhoon in your graveyard and your opponent controls no spell or traps, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon him once this way. If this card is no more special summoned, you can add 1 Magnifistorm monster or MST from your deck to your hand. Okay, there's a general searcher, no restriction. Within a chance to be an extender if you already have MST. I like that. Magala, if you have Mystical Space Typhoon in your graveyard or your opponent controls no spell or trap cards, special summon this card from your hand, also very good. If a specifically a Magnifistorm quick play spell or Mystical Space Typhoon is activated, special summon 1 from your deck with a different name than monsters you control, and this one locks you into wins too. Okay, that is super annoying. So this would be an insane card if that win lock wasn't there. I'm going to do the last monster before I get into the spells. If you have Mystical Space Typhoon in your graveyard and your opponent controls spell or traps, yep, special summon itself. If this card is no more special summon, add a spell or trap or MST from deck to your hand. Okay, also no restrictions. So, for monsters at least, the only 2 that restrict you is Magala and Crothra. So, I'm trying to think, like, it's not even like these other cards are bad. Like, this is a monster searcher and this is a spell or trap searcher, and then you have like 2 forms of interruption here. This is before getting even into the spell cards. So I'm wondering if you can just cut these 2 while these cards are really strong. Not being able to use the other like aspects of your deck, like being able to fusion, summon a fusion after doing this, making things like IP and SP Little Knight, like things like that, like really can hinder this deck a lot. Also, the fact that these are like free summons essentially, especially on turn 0, the little ones, Erdam and what's it called, and Swen. I like that a lot, especially this one being a Beast Warrior. I just realized you can Tenki search this. So I'm gonna say I think Tenki's 4 or lower, but being able to use this as like a special summon on turn 1, and then using a Hugin as a special summon on turn 1, and then maybe you can turn those into some kind of link monster, or if you want to play like a different tuner engine to clear it or something like that. There's a couple avenues I feel like you can go down here that are completely fine, or even if you wanted to go into maybe like a Fiendsmith line and you can Requiem to clear the extra monster zone, and then that kind of puts you in a decent position at least, which is kind of interesting. I don't hate that at all. So that's pretty solid. The monsters read like really well, to be honest, and I like the 2 boss monsters too. The fact that these keep coming back from the graveyard, as well as they can special summon themselves from the hand. And that's not even just that. Being able, like, you have to read something like this, the way that it's worded. So when it says if a quick play spell is activated, this, I'm fairly certain, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure this is something like a Fenrir where it waits till the next chain. It's also any quick play, so it could be your opponent. Besides the point, that's also cool, but you were able to go like, let's say like you have Fountain on the field, and you go like activate a Runick spell, new chain. If you're not summoning, let's say Hugin, you can go new chain, activate this, or activate Fountain, chain link 1, activate this in hand, chain link 2, and be able to resolve your Fountain. I think that also applies for the second effect, because it doesn't. It would say if it, because these are what's it called? They're, I guess they're trigger effects. They're not quick effects. Because if it was a quick effect, it would work something like Paleozoic in the graveyard, and SP Little Knight's secondary effect, where it has to chain directly. But these are worded differently, so I'm pretty sure they wait for the chain to resolve, and that gives you options of chain blocking your Fountain, which I really like. And then lastly, again, coming back from the graveyard, the only problem is you have to play actual Mystical Space Typhoon, but in a deck where you have Hugin, I don't think it's a big a deal. Being able to just discard it, it's completely fine. Okay, getting into the spell cards now. This is the one I know that people were talking about the most. Magnifistorm Sight Trance. Activate one of the following effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. So you can do both effects, which is good. Draw 2 cards, discard a quick play, spell, or Magnifistorm. Or if you don't have any in your hand, discard your entire hand. Okay, yes, that's always going to be alive in a Runick deck. But that's just insane. Being able to draw more around Draw Lockbird as well, because it's a quick play spell, so you can do it in draw phase. Very, very strong. You draw in the more Runicks, discard a Runick if you don't need it, and just get that value back anyway. That's an insane card. Or add Mystical Space Typhoon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If it's destroyed by the effect of Mystical Space Typhoon, you can set this card. Oh, okay, that's cool. So I guess a thing you can do is like activate the spell, chain MS2 to it, it'll reset itself, which is very nice. But like this is like a very obvious synergy with the draw too. And I also like that you can use both effects. It says activate one of the effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. It doesn't say you can only activate this card once per turn, so you can get, if you have multiples of this, you can, activate one, get MST, activate the second one to draw 2, discard 1, chain MST to it that you just searched, resolve it, reset this for your opponent's turn now, to draw 2 more, and discard another one to keep your Fountain cycling and cycling. It's really, really good. So yeah, I like this a lot. This is just a wild card. Next up we have Magnifistorm Stands a Tribute. Activate one of the effects, same thing, you can do both effects. Okay, we have a Searcher. Add one level 4 lower Magnifistorm monster from your deck to your hand, and then add MST from deck or grave to hand. And then if this card is destroyed by its effect set itself. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's just insane. Like, you just have a Searcher for, one of the 3 guys that you have that might play. So that's pretty solid. And then for the last spell, same thing, 1 effect per turn, send a Magnifistorm from deck to grave. Okay, that is significantly weaker than the other ones, but it's fine. It's like okay still, because we have, big ones that we want out of our deck, which is completely fine. And then add MST. Okay, can this summon itself from the grave? If equipped as a, you just summon this card from your hand. No, okay, so oh man, this card is so good but so annoying. I wish I could find a way to play this. Because I don't mind locking myself on my, like, maybe they're just still worth playing because I don't mind locking myself on my opponent's turn. Like if I'm using Runicks and MSTs and stuff on my opponent's turn, I'm way more favorable of locking myself in the wins that turn. When it comes back to me, that's when I have a problem locking myself, because I want to be able to use my Runicks to extend and summon the fusions. So these 2 locking is like a huge problem, but the fact that you can also trigger them on your opponent's turn is really, really good. And like, especially a card like this, where You can just set this up, for free essentially. If you have MST in your graveyard, just special it, and then on your opponent's turn, if you activate, a Magnifistorm that you set that maybe you destroyed with a quick play spell, being able to summon maybe one of the big ones that you didn't have, one of these guys as the actual interrupts as well, with in tandem with Runick spells. It's pretty good because I'm assuming you wouldn't want to play more than one of each of these, but maybe I could be wrong. But these cards are very strong, and I like their interrupt form, so it's neat. So yeah, that's it for all the spells, and then we have one trap card. Once per turn, you can target 3 quick play spells in your graveyard, including a Magnifistorm card. Apply these effects in sequence, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw a card. When monsters you control will gain 300 attack and defense for the rest of the turn. Once per chain, when a Mystical Space Typhoon is activated, you can target one piece of card your opponent controls, negate its effects. If this card is destroyed by the effect of Mystical Space Typhoon, you can set this card. Once per chain, when Mystical Space Typhoon is activated, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects. See, okay, I want to see something really quickly, because I want to know how that works, because I am fairly certain these are worded like... Okay, yeah, so this would be direct to the card, because it says once per chain, I guess. So that would be direct chain to the MST. And because it's a trap card, it works a little bit differently. It's not a monster. Like a trap card won't say quick effect on it. This will just say like once per chain. So this will be chained directly to the Mystical Space Typhoon, which isn't bad. You get MST something, chain this to negate a different card that they're activating. So it's like chain like 2 MST, chain like 3 this to negate something. That's not terrible. I just don't know if I would play it. That's the only thing. I don't want to shuffle my cards back, because obviously I would rather do that with Fountain. Like, I'm not using the Magnifistorms to play my long game. That's what the Runicks are for. I mean, it's not like a bad thing to have, but at the same time, I don't want to be shuffling Runick spells with this back. That sounds way worse than just shuffling actual Runick spells with Fountain back. So I don't know if I would actually use that effect. But I don't think I would play this card, just as is at least, like maybe as a one-of, but like your spells also kind of double as interruptions with the monsters, so like I don't know a world where I would really want something like this. Like this would be kind of a tough ask for me. But the clear synergies, I would say, are obviously the ones that like don't lock you, very obviously. Being able, like I like the 2 big ones the most, and the quick play spell. The quick play spell is like obvious. I think this is going to be a Runick staple. Right on release, if you're playing a Runick deck, this will probably just be in your deck list at least 2 to 3 copies, no matter what, even without Mystical Space Typhoons in it. Generally see more cards in Engine. It does what your deck wants to do already. I don't see why you wouldn't play this card. As for the other cards, I think it's interesting that these exist as interrupts and can chain block Runick Fountain. I think that is like one of their coolest things, that they don't lock you. I mean, maybe there is a world where you don't need to play the little ones at all, and you can just play the big ones, because they summon themselves out of hand anyway, just as interruptions. But I just still like the synergies of like this one that searches to be able to get this guy. But the problem with these cards is that they don't do anything. You know what I mean? Like a Runick, like a Hugin, because ideally you're going to want Hugin on the field. Hugin plus one of these 3s, I'm fairly certain doesn't go into anything off the top of my head. I'm trying to think if there's like maybe something, but I can't think of anything that's like relevant other than like Requiem to clear the extra monster zone again to give you that slot back. So maybe that's the answer, because like let me think about this. If you draw this one and you add a spell so you can get the Monster Searcher, but this only adds level 4 lower, which makes that way worse, unfortunately. When can you special these? If you have MST in your grave or your opponent controls. Okay, I mean like you could still go like this, or this one to grab this, to grab like one of the big ones to get like that online, I suppose, or get MST, but and then go like Fiendsmith line. But it comes down to if you were gonna play the ones that lock you, if they are worth it overall. I don't think they are, because I think all of these other cards. When I'm talking about other cards, it's Erdam, Swen, and Tribute would be the other main ones. They get you to where you want to go, which is the additional body. Like my first instinct is I'm probably going to try Fiendsmith with this. Is the additional body to make a Requiem, set up a different form of interruption than what you are normally doing. I think you can also probably play, if you're playing Fiends, I think a Fiendsmith package, you might be able to play like they have Sanct, right? It's a quick play spell. Maybe that's worth it. You know, you could Sanct special, you know, just to trigger these guys. Just another, you know, another form of synergy that we might have. Just something to consider. But that's at least where my brain is going to. I kind of wanted, that's also kind of the purpose I wanted to make this video, is I just want to show kind of how my brain sees these things of, you know, when I'm combining things with Runick. It's like, what can I do with like a Hugin plus something, plus the other deck? Can I clear the extra monster zone is a big one. Draw power, like am I drawing cards? Obviously we have this one, which we are. And what interruptions am I gaining out of playing these cards? Those are all the main things, at least for me, that Runick, you know, works for me. And even things like the Yummy deck, you know, it does that very well, being able to synchro out. The only thing it's lacking is the draw. Like, you're getting a lot of interruptions and Omni Negates, but you're not getting a lot of draw. Like, Cupsy on your opponent's turn is like 1 draw, but that's not, like, great. Like, in comparison to a 4 draw, discard 2, in Runick is, like, insane. Like, being able to hand fix like that is ridiculous. So, but Yummy is also probably making way more interruptions than this, right? Like, you're getting, you know, only these guys, and then maybe like the Fiendsmith line, which the Fiendsmith line might be worth it, but we'll see. That would be a whole separate deck. Maybe I'll do a video on that in the future. If you want to see that, let me know down below. But yeah, this is just something I wanted to go over. But I don't think this is going to be a very popular version, I would say. I don't think the full engine is. I like the deck a lot, like as itself, but the fact that like especially this one locking you sucks. Like, this is like the best one by far, and the fact that this locks you, like the double search lock sucks. So being able to just play a smaller package may be the best way to go it, and I think this card's going to be a staple in every Runick deck moving forward. So yeah, if you guys have any other ideas, or maybe something I missed, maybe something I didn't talk about, some form of synergy I didn't miss, like obviously I see that this is like a Pyro and Aqua, maybe there's something with that. We have a Wind Wing Beast, which is, you know, Featherstorm Central. I know I mentioned Tenki earlier. Maybe there's something else I'm missing. Feel free to let me know down below. I'd really appreciate it. But again, if you enjoy, please subscribe and check out the affiliate links down below. Really helps me out. And yeah, so without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.